Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're diving deep into a crucial question that not many people think about but has enormous implications for our world. Can the West survive without resources from Africa? Stick around as we unpack this complex topic, explore the vital resources that African countries provide to Western economies, and discuss what could happen if those resources were no longer available. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And if you find this video insightful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with your friends, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. Let's get into it. The vital resources from Africa. So, let's talk about the resources that African countries supply and why they're so important to the West. Africa is incredibly rich in natural resources, many of which are absolutely essential for various industries in Europe, North America, and beyond. Let's break down some of the most critical ones. Minerals and metals. Cobalt. Ever wondered what powers your smartphone, laptop, or even electric vehicles? It's cobalt. And Africa, particularly the Democratic Republic of Congo, supplies over 60% of the world's cobalt. This metal is a key ingredient in the lithium-ion batteries that power all of our modern devices. Without a steady supply of cobalt, the West would face huge challenges in sustaining its technology and green energy industries. Imagine the impact on companies like Tesla or Apple. Supply chain disruptions, skyrocketing costs, and potentially fewer products on the market. It's a big deal. Coltan, columbite tantalite. Speaking of tech, coltan is another crucial mineral that Africa provides, mainly from the Democratic Republic of Congo. It's used to make capacitors, which are found in almost every electronic device you can think of. Without coltan, the tech industry as we know it could grind to a halt. That means delays in production for everything from gaming consoles to medical equipment. Platinum group metals, PGMs. Let's move to another industry, the automotive sector. South Africa is one of the world's largest producers of platinum group metals, which are essential for making catalytic converters. These devices reduce harmful emissions from vehicles, helping manufacturers meet stringent environmental regulations. Without PGMs, not only would car prices rise, but we'd also see a significant setback in the fight against climate change. Oil and gas. Crude oil. Did you know that Nigeria and Angola are major suppliers of crude oil to Western countries? This oil is vital for keeping industries running from transportation to manufacturing. While the West does have other sources, losing access to African oil would lead to higher global oil prices and potential energy shortages. It would impact everything from gas prices at the pump to the cost of goods in stores. Natural gas. Europe, in particular, relies on natural gas from North Africa. Countries like Algeria are key suppliers. As Europe tries to reduce its dependence on Russian energy, African natural gas becomes even more crucial. Losing this supply could lead to energy crises, especially in winter months, causing economic and social turmoil. Agricultural products. Cocoa. Who doesn't love chocolate? But here's something you might not know. West Africa, especially Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana, produces over 60% of the world's cocoa. The chocolate industry, which is huge in Europe and North America, would be devastated without this supply. Imagine chocolate prices skyrocketing or even a shortage of your favorite treats. It would be a real-life chocolate crisis. Coffee. If you can't start your day without a cup of coffee, you should know that countries like Ethiopia and Uganda are major coffee producers. Western countries, particularly in Europe and North America, are massive consumers of coffee. A disruption in supply would not only affect your morning routine, but could also have economic implications for the global coffee industry. Tropical fruits and nuts. Africa is also a significant exporter of tropical fruits and nuts, such as bananas, pineapples, and cashews. These are staples in Western diets, and without them, there would be gaps in the food market, leading to higher prices and less variety in what's available at your local grocery store. The strategic importance of Africa. Beyond just raw materials, Africa holds immense strategic importance for the West. The continent is home to some of the fastest-growing markets in the world, and Western countries have invested heavily in infrastructure and businesses across Africa. This relationship isn't just about resources. It's also about maintaining influence in a region that's becoming increasingly important on the global stage. If the West loses its economic ties with Africa, it risks ceding influence to other global powers like China and Russia, who are already making significant inroads on the continent. This shift could have far-reaching implications, not just economically but geopolitically as well. Now let's talk about global supply chains. The resources we've mentioned aren't just pulled out of the ground and immediately used, they're part of complex global supply chains that involve processing, manufacturing, and distribution across multiple countries. Western economies have integrated these African resources into their production lines to the point where a disruption in supply could lead to significant problems. Think about it. If cobalt or coltan supplies were cut off, we'd see delays and price increases in everything from smartphones to electric vehicles. The ripple effect would impact multiple industries, leading to job losses, economic slowdowns, and higher prices for consumers. So, can the West survive without these resources? Technically yes, but not without significant struggles. Here's why. 1. The West relies heavily on African raw materials to keep key industries running. Finding alternatives would be challenging and likely more expensive, leading to increased production costs and higher prices for consumers. 2. While there are alternative sources for some resources, they're often less efficient or more costly to extract. For instance, cobalt can be sourced from other countries, but the environmental and financial costs would be higher. This would slow down the adoption of green technologies like electric vehicles and could set back progress on climate goals. 3. A sudden loss of access to African resources would likely lead to economic instability in Western countries. We could see inflation, higher unemployment rates, and slower economic growth. Politically, the West could lose its influence on the global stage, especially as other powers like China and Russia strengthen their ties with African nations. Let's take a closer look at how specific industries might be affected. The transition to green energy and electric vehicles is a major focus for Western economies. But this transition relies heavily on African resources like cobalt and PGMs. Without them, the industry would face significant delays, potentially increasing dependence on fossil fuels and hampering efforts to combat climate change. Imagine a world where smartphones and computers are in short supply. Without African-sourced coltan and other minerals, production would slow down, leading to shortages and higher prices. This would impact everything from consumer electronics to critical infrastructure, affecting both businesses and everyday consumers. The chocolate and coffee industries are just two examples of how dependent Western diets are on African produce. A disruption in supply would lead to higher food prices and could even cause shortages of popular products, leading to economic and social unrest. So there you have it, a deep dive into why the West is so dependent on African resources and what could happen if those resources were suddenly cut off. The bottom line? While the West could survive, it would face significant economic and industrial challenges that would ripple across multiple sectors, affecting everything from technology to food production. If you found this video insightful, make sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends so more people can understand the importance of Africa's resources on a global scale. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis on global issues like this. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think the West could survive without Africa's resources? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.